Welcome back. This is our lethal face brush collection video because if you were here from before, there was an issue with the eye brushes and they did resolve it. So there's no hard feelings from lethal. We're going to reapply for like the 7th, 8th, 12th time. I don't know. Tillamook chocolate. What does it say? Tillamook mint chocolate chip ice cream sensitive flavored lip balm. Y'all, I am delirious. I've been busting out these videos. I'm gonna have like all of these to edit, but it'll be quick because all of them were talked through like we're gonna do right now. So we're gonna do our lethal brushes, and I think I'm gonna do my eyeliner brushes separate, but I'm not sure. We'll see where we are. I might put in those brushes too just to be done with this 2024 brush collection video. Thank you for being here. These are my lethal face brushes that I still have, and I don't think I got rid of any of the lethal face brushes. These two are number 110 contour brush. I use these for bronzer, and I use bronzer and contour interchangeably. If I were using it for contour, I would use flat side, pointy side back, and I would come this way, and I always bring a little here, and then come along my jawline, and get in the corners of my 5-head and sweep that across. So that's what I would use this for, and I do use it for. I also use this one sometimes for blush, just using the flat side and just tapping it on and then going back and lightly blending it, or just tapping it and tapping it until it blends itself out. So I do use this brush for that. I haven't been using the lethal brushes lately for I don't know what reason. I want to say part of me is kind of over it because some of them are staining a little bit, and so and I have so many brushes. I'm just like, but I do really like these, and that's why I still have them and I do still use them. But when I go to pick a brush, I'm always like, where will my fingers land today? And it doesn't often land on these. I have to make a conscious effort to use these for no particular reason, and they are soft, which is good. I have sensitive skin. I can only use synthetic brushes. My skin doesn't like natural hair brushes, and they do excuse me, the job very well. And maybe it's just something subliminal in my mind about the eye brush situation, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with these, and these have held up. I've had these probably now, don't lie to me, I mean, I don't want to lie to you, it has been at least 2 years. I want to say longer than that, but at least a solid 2 years, and I have had no problems at all with any of these brushes. They're kind of hanging out a little bit, some of the bristles, but I haven't had any shedding. For the most part, they do retain the shape well. They are easy to clean, but I am concerned with staining, and I'm going to show you why. But this is one that says contour, and I will use it with contour sideways, and blush I'll just use it flat and blend it out and do what I need to do. So it is a really nice brush. If I'm not mistaken, they do still sell it as a set where you can buy individual brushes, and I did purchase the entire set first, and then I purchased seconds of the brushes I did like, and then there was that issue that it was resolved very well, so no ill feelings about that. But I do still wonder if that's in the back of my mind. But I do really think it's because of the shedding, not the shedding, the staining, and there is some here you can see in this brush. Both of this one isn't stained. These two are the 115 blush brush. These are amazing blush brushes. And even for like House Labs, Pat McGrath, because her blushes can be powdery. Just tap it in and just tap on, and the color is like bam. Like these are, dare I say, amazing blush brushes. And I'm going to put this one down because I don't need to hold them both because they're exactly the same, except that one I just put down is not stained, and this one is starting to stain a little bit like right here. And I don't know why, because I don't have any blushes that color, so I don't know what that is. Now I'm like, ew, what the heck? But these are amazing for blush because House Labs, some of those shades are really rich. I just tap, 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 and it's just like bam. Tap, tap, bam. I mean, these pick up and put down like very well. These are very nice brushes. The other one I only have one of these. This is a bronzer brush, number 105. I like the shape of it because it's puffy, but then it tapers. And for bronzer, I'm kind of surprised. Well, for me, I don't do this whole part for bronzing. Look how big this brush is. And I have a puffy face. And so I'm just like, this is big for bronzing. And it may be because I use bronzer and contour interchangeably, which is, put a line right here, come down, do the perimeter of my face, put a little here, blend it up. And all of this is using the tip of the brush. And so for bronzer, for this, I use this sometimes for blush because I have puffy face. And look at that right there. Poop. Oh, I didn't say poop, did I? I meant to say pop. I'm delirious. This is like my 6th or 7th or 12th video tonight. I don't know. But for me, this is great for blush because it fits my face. I have a puffy face. And so for bronzer, I was just like, But because I like this one for blush and I like this one for blush, I'm like, I don't need another contour brush to use for blush. You know what I'm saying? And it is staining just a little bit because you can see on the tip of it, which is where I do usually use it if I am using a bronzer, which I use contour interchangeably. But I do really like this, but I only have one of them because I was mostly using it for blush, and I have enough brushes that I like for blush. But I do really like it. It is very soft. You see that it's flexing, but it's holding the shape. The top part kind of stays that way. You see what I'm saying? But as far as this part of it, this is a nice brush. And I don't remember it shedding. I'm not saying it didn't. I just don't remember where other brushes. I'm like, yeah, this sucker started to shed. But I've had these for years. I've had them for years. I bought the first set when they were first launched. I think I purchased them on launch day. So if you remember when that is, that's how long I've had these brushes. This one is the 100 powder brush. This brush, I love this for my Hourglass single compacts for like radiant light, or even for loose setting powder, because I can just put it in, swirl it, and because my face is so big, I can do my whole face like really fast. It is starting to stain though. I don't use it often, so I know it's just a matter of time before I'm just tired of looking at the staining. And I mentioned that in my Fenty brush collection video, which now I need to make sure I put that before this one so that what I'm saying now will make sense. But this is just either like finishing powder or like radiant light or eternal light, one of the Hourglass finishing powders. But this works really well, and the reason I'm not overly concerned with not having this one is because I have the Scott Barnes brush, which is even bigger and fluffier. Like this is more dense though. This is definitely more dense, and it is more soft. It is a luxury brand, whereas Lethal I would consider an indie makeup high-end-ish brand, but it's the same concept. And so yeah, the Scott Barnes one is really soft, but this is really soft too. Like this, oh my gosh, this feels really good. But this I do really like for loose powder because you can just get it all in a brush and then just get it all over in one pass. You don't need to keep dipping in and everything because it's so big. And because I have a big face, I can do all of that super fast. And for the Hourglass, I'm going to show you, did I use this today? I'm not going to actually use it though, but if I were to put this in here, look at this. It fits in the compact, which I love. And if you have like a compact like that, and you have a big face like I do, this fits right in it. You can either tap it in or swirl it in, and then just your whole face, and it's done quick because this is as big as my face. And so I really do like this brush. I'm going to, that's all of my Lethal brushes. That's all I have left from Lethal. No, I am lying to you. I have 2 of their eyeliner brushes, which I love, because they're tapered and they're stiff, but not stiff to the point where it's pokey. And the number of these is 240 pointed liner brush. This is great for liner. I use it for liner. And I like that it's long and that the handle is long because I can get in my inner corner, whereas brushes that are shorter, this side I can do because I'm coming this way. But then if I do this side, I can't see because of where my hand is. I have trouble seeing the inner corner. But because this is long, I can like hold it back on the end and I can still see in here to get this line here. If I lay it flat, the line turns out wider than I want. And so even if I just want to try and get it thin as possible, which is always the goal but seldom happens, I just have to be sure to use as much of the tip of the brush as possible and just take my time and just go in segments like this versus, excuse me if you saw that, versus laying it sideways and just coming like straight across. You see what I'm saying? So I would just have to, just take my time and do this. And it's easy to do a wing because it holds a shape and it's tapered, it's pointy, and it's stiff enough to hold the gel liner and then just run it out and then bring it back and fill it in. I love this for that. And I also use this for a graphic liner, or if I want to lay a line under my brow bone, or if I'm doing graphic line or something up here, because it is just so pointy and it holds its shape and it holds the product And I really love this brush. I'm surprised that these didn't fall apart because all the eye brushes did. And I thought it was just because they were thin and it was something with the glue. But these are as thin as some of the eye brushes. These have not fallen apart. And I'm glad that they didn't. And dare I say, these may be one of my favorite eyeliner brushes because of the shape of it. If they were thinner, that would be great too, because then I could get a thinner line. But because they're dense and they're tapered, but they're also soft at the same time, I really, really like those brushes. So we're going to switch gears to random brushes. I did a Sigma brush collection video. I forgot this one because it doesn't look like the other ones. The other ones have like these color bristles. And so looking at this, I forgot that it was a Sigma brush. Excuse me, and this is one that Grace has sent me also. It's the F40 large angle contour. My concern is that over time, actually I think it already started because I did this, it looked like it was a different color. Is that, did that stain already or is it just the way I'm holding it? Because when I do this, it looks like it's stained. Is that just the lighting? I don't know. I think it's the lighting. But my concern is that this will stain, and so I don't use it often. I have used it, and I do like it for contour and bronzer. I use interchangeably. Put that here, and then a little back here. Come along the perimeter of my face. Put a little here. Brush it upward. Get into my 5 head. Brush it over across my forehead. A little on the nose. This is great for that. And I also like it just putting it into blush, pointy side up, and just tapping it. And then either swirling or just tapping it in and then tapping around the edges to blend it out. I love this brush. I just don't use it often because I'm concerned it's going to start staining because some of the blushes that I use are very pigmented. Them House Labs are very pigmented. And even the House Labs bronzers and the Sigma bronzers. And so I'm just really concerned. And I need to stop babying it and just go ahead and just use the darn thing because this is a really nice brush. As far as how it feels, it does feel really soft. This way you can feel it that it's synthetic, and it's not a problem for me because I don't use the sides of the brush, but just touching it feels very synthetic. But this way is super soft, and so that's what I look for. Is as long as it's soft and it feels good on my face, you know, that's what I look for. This is a I probably pronounced it wrong. Shaina B, Shaina B Miami brush. This came in a subscription box or something, or somebody gave it to me or whatever. This is a nice blush brush. It's not my favorite. You know what? I'm going to give this away. You know why? Because I don't use it often. And if you watched all of my brush videos, y'all know I have enough. So I'm going to wash it since I'm sitting here messing with it. And this will go on my brush declutter giveaway as well. It hasn't stained. There's nothing wrong with it. Doing this, it feels synthetic, but up here it feels really soft. And what I use this for, I have used the tip of it for bronzer, contour, because I use that interchangeably. But also I do really like it for blush, either going straight in and tapping it on, or swiping the product with the side of the brush and then just patting it on. This is a really nice brush. I just don't use it for no particular reason. Like seriously, there's nothing wrong with it. It applies shadow really well, lays it down well. And as I said, I will wash this because I am touching it to my face, and this will go in my giveaway brush declutter stuff. But this is a really nice brush though. It works very well. So that is that for those brushes. I'm going to show you the brushes I use for eyeliner. I was going to do this separate, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just put all this in with the lethal brushes, since I only had 2, 4, 6 face brushes and 2 eyeliner brushes. And so these are my Melt Cosmetics eyeliner brushes. Look how frayed these are. Like, these brushes done been through a thing or two. And the reason why I purchased these is because the Melt Cosmetics gel liners, this is Fortune, the green one. I was having such a hard time with thinner brushes, getting a thin line, and I'm just like, this ain't working. Like, the colors are gorgeous, it's not working. So I said, you know what, let me get a brush that goes with the liners. So even though these are horribly, frayed, and this one is like stained, even though they're frayed, like when I put the product on it, it just like, it just goes all together. It ends up looking like this brush. It just, the product just like brings it all together, and then I am able to get a thin line. Not as thin as I want, because as I use it and as the product comes off, then it starts to fray again. So, but I do still use it And I'm looking at these like, do I want to keep them? Because I have other brushes I prefer more than these for eyeliner, but they do work. And no, I wouldn't give these away, except maybe this one, because this one isn't, yeah, this one is stained too. So I wouldn't give these away because they're stained. I like to give stuff away at least that look new. And this one is kind of cockeyed, like I don't. So these, if I don't keep them, it would just go in the trash. And I haven't used these in a long time, and I used them recently. I know I haven't used them in a long time, then I said I used them recently. I used it recently to see if I still liked it, because I was considering just decluttering them because I wasn't using them. But I said, let me try again. And so they were fine until they started to fray, because then I'm not able to get a thin line because it frays. And even though, as I said, the product brings the bristles together, once the product starts dispensing on my upper lash line, it starts to fray again, which makes the line thicker than I want. And so that's the thing with these. And so would I recommend these? I would not recommend these, because once they fray, you're not going to be able to get a thin line unless you know something I don't, or you know, whatever. But then I could use it for graphic liner, but then with graphic liner I do still want like a thin pinpoint line, and if it's going to fray. But if I'm doing a messy graphic liner, that would work. Like if I wasn't trying to just have like a straight line and I didn't care that it spread out, it would be useful for that. Or what I might do, what I think I might do, is start using this to fill in my brows with color. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hold on to these. Thank you, y'all, because y'all helped me figure out what to do with these, because it is a good brush. I just can't get a thin line on my upper lash line. But yeah, I'll use these for putting gel liner in my brows. That's what I'm gonna use these for. And it won't matter if it frays, because my brows are thick enough where even if it frays, it'll still be within the space where my brow hairs are. It just might become a problem like over here where I have no hair. But then we would just deal with that later. So yeah, I'm going to keep these. So thank you for that, because I really was like, I'm getting rid of them. But we're not. What else do we have here? This is a brush that that Grace has sent me. Yo, when I say she sent me a huge box of Sigma stuff, she really did. This is the E75 angled brow brush. I don't use this for brows. I typically don't even use these for eyeliners, because I always have trouble, unless I did pointy side down, getting in this inner corner right here to put liner on my upper lash line. And over here I can't even see because my hand is casting a shadow over my eyes. And so I don't like these for upper lash line work. I have used it a few times for liner, just like a graphic line. Like if I have maybe a black liner here, I would take a different color liner and just use this to stamp a line, because it's going to be straight, because it's straight, you know what I'm saying? And so I have used that, and I've done it for graphic liner over my wing, so it was like a triple wing type thing. I don't even think I used it for putting liner under my brows. I would like to think I tried it, excuse me if you saw that, but I really can't say that I did. I would like to think that I did, but I don't know. And I could also use this to feather shadow in my brows. You could also use a brush like this for cleaning up your lip line, or drawing on your lip line, like if you overline, or just cleaning it up. I think I may have either used this or a different brush for that, just to clean up my lip line. And so this is a useful brush. I just don't use it much. When Fabulous 50ocity was here and she did my makeup, it was funny because when she was saying a brush to do my brows, which I just used the Fenty brow pencil, and I said, well, these are my eyeliner. No, she was looking for a brush for eyeliner, and I keep all my eyeliner brushes together. I said, well, these are all for eyeliner. She went this, and when she saw this one, she just picked this up. Like, this wasn't even, these were not even a concern. Like, and so after the fact, I was like, I wonder if she's ever used any other shape for eyeliner except for these. Like, I was really wondering, and I need to ask her that. But she saw this, and it was like, that was it. Like, it was the only eyeliner brush I had. So it was kind of funny in a way. But she did use this to do, you know, my eyeliner. And it is different doing somebody else, because you're looking at them and you're seeing it, versus trying to get in your inner corner and you can't see because your hand is casting a shadow over your face. But she did use this, and she enjoyed using it. And so I was glad that it did get used. But I am going to play with this also, the same as the Melt ones, putting gel liner in my lashes, not my lashes, my eyebrows, because I'm finding that I really like that. And even I did that for my Pride look. But even aside from that, like, I like putting bougie in my brows because it's there and it's not there because it's a dual chrome. I found from doing the Pride look, the Contemplative State paint pot, it just kind of fades away. And so that might be something nice for here, just to kind of have a lightness and then darkness over here, meaning don't take contemplative state all the way through. Like just kind of feather it right here. So I'm going to play around with this. I'm going to keep that brush. We have, I hate to even say this name because I don't support the brand, but it was at Marshall's or somewhere and it was very cheap. And it was like $3. This is a Morphe brush. And I've always liked these angled brushes, and these two are Inglot. And I purchased these when I had purchased the Inglot gel liner on Amazon because it was like a package deal, you know, you get this and this or whatever. But these fray, and as you can see, and so once they fray, it's hard to get a straight line. Surprisingly, the Morphe one, the cheap one, it didn't fray. And what I liked, I'm gonna put that down because I just don't like even saying the name of that brand, like for real. Like, so yeah, so I'm gonna just demonstrate with one of the Inglot ones. Back in the day, I had one of these shaped angled eyeliner brushes from Smashbox. This was going back maybe 25 years. And what I liked about it was, because for this type of brush, or even the lethal brush, you use the tip of it, but then you have to hold your hand a certain way or just lay it flat and get a thicker line to get behind your lashes. But this brush, this shape brush, you can lay it straight and you can just go straight across and it's already behind your brows. You don't have to turn the brush sideways. You don't have to worry about a shadow covering your face. You just put the tip of it here and you don't even have to move the angle of the brush because of the shape of it. Your brows, your eyelashes, excuse me, are right here. So you just put the tip of it here and just take the brush straight across and you can see straight across. And so these brushes, I fell in love with that shape way back when with that Smashbox liner brush because it's angled. And I don't even use these that often. And I'm tripping because I'm like, I can't get a thin line, you know, and I'm trying to use something like this and I'm trying to go sideways. And I'm like, troll, even though this is frayed, just get the product on there and hope it holds it together and then just let it do what it do right behind your lashes. And so it is very simple. This is a really nice brush. So any brand, an angled eyeshadow brush, if you have problems with a straight edge brush getting behind your lashes, this is the way to go because you just hold it straight. And you see my hand is my hand is not over here. My hand is straight in front of my face. Just put the tip down and just take the tip right behind your brows. So my hand isn't even, you know, I don't have to do all of that. Just take it straight across. So I really do like the shape of that eyeliner brush. All of these right here are MAC 210 brushes. You see that this one has stained. You see that the majority of them have frayed. This one is horrible. Like this one right here is horrible. Like look at that. Actually, both of these, it's horrible. It's horrible. So it's making it harder to get a straight line with it. And I'm gonna put these down. So what are these? I got 6 of these because they had a sale. And so I liked it. I bought another one, and then like a month later they started to fray and I got pissed off. But once the product is on, it pretty much does still maintain the shape. And I think it's because this is shorter than the melt ones, and it's not as thick as the melt ones, and so we'll hold the product excuse me, will hold the bristles together longer. But you still, like, unlike the angled one, I can't just go straight. I have to turn it sideways, but I am able to get a thin line. I've been able to get the thinnest line with this brush than any of my other liner brushes, and it surprises me, but I still have to be careful with it, and it's because it is thin. And I can just get it right there and then do a wing and bring it back in and fill it out. And so I really do like the MAC 210. I just wish that they didn't fray because once it frayed, I have to be more careful. And if I'm not careful, then the line turns out wider than I want. And then I'm like, okay, we're just gonna have a thick line today and bring out the wing and bring it back. I also have used this to put a line under my brow. I have used this for graphic liner. And so this is a really nice brush. So just a straight thin brush for upper eyeliner. And so let me know your thoughts. If you have the lethal brushes. And what I like about talking about my brush collection is these are brushes that I've had for years and years and years. I remember when the lethal brushes first came out, people would get them in PR or whatever, and they would just, and I wash brushes before I use them because of my skin. I'm like, I don't know what's been on that brush. I don't know if they dropped it on the floor and then put it in the box. I don't know. But a lot of people were just opening it, using it. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is fabulous. I'm like, you just got it and it's brand new. Like, you don't know if it's going to shed. You haven't washed it yet. Is the texture going to change? Is it not going to be as soft? And so when I did my videos first with these brushes, I had already washed them and used them a few times. And so my first impressions was, this is not just out the box. Like, I've washed them, I've used them. And so when you're looking at reviews for any type of products, I don't know how I got on this tangent. When you're looking at reviews for any products, pay attention to, did they just open it and use it? Or have they been using it? If it's a brush, have they washed it? Has it maintained the shape? If they used it for a while, is it staining? Is it fraying? You know, all of that stuff. And so that's what I like about, you know, now even talking about these brushes again, not just the lethal ones, but the other ones. I've had all these brushes for years and years and years and years, and you see what they look like. And you know, if this was my first time using the melt brushes, I'd be like, oh, these are perfect. But then, you know, months later they stain and they're frayed. So like, what does that say? But I do really like the lethal eyeliner brushes, and I'm surprised that they didn't fall apart yet, because all the eyeshadow brushes fell apart. But these are stiff, but they're soft and they're pointed. And so I'm thinking, like, do I want some more of these? Because even though I like the MAC ones because they're a lot thinner, because of frays, I still get I end up with a thick line. Whereas with the lethal ones, if I just take my time, I can get a thin line. But now I'm thinking, like, do I want more of those? Because those are really nice. So let me know your preference for eyeliner brushes. Do you prefer the angled brushes? Because you can just go right behind your lashes without, you know, moving the brush here to here and moving your hand back and forth. Do you like, you know, thicker type brushes? Do you like tapered thin brushes? Like, what's your favorite brush for eyeliner? So that's the question for this video. And to recap really quick, I am going to wash this along with the other brushes from the other videos that I said I was going to put in my declutter video. I am going to make it a point to use this one more and stop babying it, and if it starts to stain, it'll just stain, because this is a really good brush. I really like this brush. This is the Sigma one. But that'll be it for this is the last brush collection video. I'm gonna put somewhere in all the videos like what number it is, or in the description box, because I did them all in one night, and it's just, yeah, I need a beverage and some food. So, but thank you for being here for all of this. 2024 brush collection video will pop up here. I'll put something down here I would like for you to watch. I have a lot of playlists. Did I say that slurred? Probably. I have a lot of playlists on my channel, so you can just go to my channel and just look through the playlist and see what you want to watch. Feel free to like, share, comment on any of my videos that you watch. If you've been here before and you're not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you go ahead and click that button. I have a membership, you know, you're welcome to join. It's not a lifelong decision. You can cancel at any time, but there are perks to it that I hope you would enjoy. And that is going to be it, I believe, definitely for today. Thank you for hanging out, and if you've watched all the other brush collection videos, let me know your thoughts on them. This will be the last one that I post. Yeah, I'll have to remember what order to post them in, but this will definitely be last. And read below if you're interested in the decluttered brushes, the brushes that I'm going to get rid of, which you will have seen in the previous videos, which ones I am going to get rid of. So that's how we're going to do that. So this is also a decluttered brush giveaway, and I've done those before, so I need to stop buying brushes, because then I keep giving some away every few years. But we're going to go. So thank you. Hang out and watch something that's going to pop up, or go to my channel page and find something else to watch. Binge watch my videos, stalk me, it is okay. I love it. And comments are always welcome. I didn't do the intro, but as always, stuttering. As always, self-acceptance and self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.